Welcome to Fort Johnson Podcast. In today's episode, we will be discussing an important program that has been helping soldiers and their families in times of need, the Army Emergency Relief Program. This program strives to provide financial assistance and supports to soldiers facing unforeseen emergencies. So let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching our program, this is the Fort Johnson Podcast. I'm Jeff England from the Fort Johnson Public Affairs Office, and we are in the Fort Johnson Podcast Studios. I call it the Podcast Studio because that's what we mainly use it for. And we used to call it like Studio B, but no one got the reference. Anyway, with me today, I've got With me today, I've got from ACS and the Financial Readiness Program, Molly.
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I'm so glad you're in here.
Thanks for having me.
It's nice to have. It's nice when people show up. So we've got the AER program. The AER campaign starts in March, or on March 1st. How long does it run?
Correct. Yeah. It's an annual campaign, Army Emergency Relief, and we have a kickoff planned for March 1st, and then it will run through May 15th. There's talk of it may be extended a couple weeks, but we're just waiting on final word there. But yeah, we're excited to get the campaign kicked off.
Why do I have a feeling that the kickoff is going to be some kind of PT or run for like, who knows, like maybe 2K, 2.5K. So I'm not really into running, so I don't know if that's going to be correct, but I have a feeling that I'm close, right?
You're pretty close.
I'm pretty close.
So yeah, we have a fun day planned. The kickoff.
Why is it every time somebody says we're going to have all kinds of fun, and what kind of fun is it? We're running. We're running forever and a mile. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, the 2K run.
Yeah, it's open to runners or walkers, strollers. Families are welcome. We encourage soldiers to come during PT. It kicks off at 6:30 in the morning, and it will be at the Warrior Center where the golf course is. So that's where it will start, and it'll be one loop around the golf course. So it's actually about 2.3 miles, but we advertise it as a 2-miler. Generally speaking. And so we'll have some people that are, probably going to run it in super quick, and then others that'll be, taking it more casual, and that's okay. It's a fun run. It's not designed to be super competitive.
They're going to be out there competitive. People are going to be out there racing. It's just like, well, we got it done in like 5 minutes. It's like a 5-minute 2-mile. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's really designed to be something for everyone. So those folks that do like to time themselves, there will be a clock out there so they know exactly, what their time is. And we actually have AER medals and AER coins that we're going to give to the top 3 finishers.
Ooh, medals and coins.
Yeah.
Now, just a little background on the AER campaign. That's been around since like 1942, hasn't it?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So it's a 501c3, so it's a nonprofit. It was established in 1942, as you said, by the Secretary of War and the Army Chief of Staff, and really is designed to support soldiers and families if they're having some kind of financial emergency. It's the only nonprofit that I'm aware of that really that's their sole focus.
The best thing that I seen about the AER, is that it's not necessarily for emergencies that people imagine when they think emergency. I mean, this could be, your car breaking down at an inconvenient time, and you just need that extra little boost to get you through to the next thing. Get some extra money to get that, to get your car fixed. I mean, it could be something as simple as that, or it could be something as big as a childbirth, and just get some extra income instead of having to go to those the loan sharks and the paycheck.
Payday lenders.
Yeah, that's the ones that have like extraordinarily high interest rates for repaying. AER doesn't have the high interest rates.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's all of the assistance that's provided to military families. It's 0% or zero fees. Basically, there's no cost to receiving the loan. The loan. There's over 30 categories of assistance. So it covers things like you mentioned, like personal vehicles, if there's a repair that comes up that's unexpected and the family is short on funds to get the vehicle repaired. It covers, that's one of our bigger categories of assistance. It also can cover things like if they're short on funds that month and they need help with groceries or they need help paying their utility bills.
Yeah, nowadays I could totally see people needing help with some groceries. I went to the grocery store and to get some asparagus. And it's like $8 for just a small bundle of skinny little asparagus.
Yeah.
And it's like, you need to take out a mortgage just to go grocery shopping. But yeah, the AER would help out with people like just simple stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. And there's other categories. It does, as I mentioned, the 30 categories of assistance. But even if it's something that is outside of a normal category of assistance, AER's big thing is that they want to find a way to yes. So, looking for ways that there is, if it's not an approved category of assistance, but maybe they're short in another area and they need assistance. So it's our staff does work closely with those service members and families that come in to make sure that we can get them the assistance they need. And we, as you mentioned, with like the payday lenders and stuff off post, we want AER to be the first stop for soldiers and families.
Yeah, those the payday lenders, they're there for a reason, and they're there to make profit. And I'd rather go to a nonprofit than you don't have to worry about it. But they're the interest rate and the short term and for what you need. The Army actually has things in place to help the soldiers and their families. It's so much better, and there is no stigma going to this. And the other good things that I've seen with AER is that sometimes, not always, but sometimes it could be a grant. So what kind of, do you have any idea of why AER would give a grant?
Yeah, so when it comes to grants, there are certain categories that are approved for grant assistance. So one of those categories is emergency travel in reference to an immediate family member. So if a service member comes in and a family member, a parent or child or a spouse has passed away, then they could apply for financial assistance. And that assistance starts at 50% grant, 50% loan, but based on the soldier's circumstances and ability to repay, it could only go up in terms of grant assistance from there. But so the baseline is 50% grant, 50% loan. So, but in every case, we look at the soldier and family circumstances, and if the ability to repay the loan at 0% interest is not there, then a grant is always considered.
Having an unexpected death in the family and those tickets, I mean, especially if it's on the opposite end of the continent, or could you imagine Hawaii, having to go all the way to Hawaii? I mean, on like short term, no notice. Those tickets are absolutely through the roof, and AER could just like that
absolutely
help you out.
Yeah, Fort Johnson in particular, we have a lot of soldiers that have families that are overseas or in other countries, and so it's a definite a program that they should reach to if something unfortunate like that happens.
Yeah, it's the last reason you would want to have free money, but it's sure there to help. Now you have the low cost or the low interest, zero interest, grants. You've got no cost to apply for these loans.
And just to clarify, it's all of the loans that are given are at 0%.
All of them.
So there is never interest.
So there is no reason to go to a lender other than AER for some kind of short-term loan. Do you know what the amounts of loans that are available?
Sure. So there's a couple different programs that work here. So there's something called the Quick Assist Program, or QAP, and that is actually where the soldier goes to their commander or first sergeant and asks for assistance for an immediate financial need if it's in one of those approved categories. So the commander or first sergeant can actually authorize up to $2,000. The paperwork, so they go through that process with the soldier, and then the soldier brings the paperwork into our office, and the information is just verified, and then our AER officers, Miss Katie and Miss Linda, can process the paperwork and get the soldier the assistance. So that's kind of the first program that's available, and we encourage people to utilize that. It's usually a little bit quicker process as well. But then there's also something called direct access, where in some cases you have soldiers that maybe don't want to involve command, and they just want to privately go to Army Emergency Relief and ask for assistance. So, and direct access is available in the majority of cases to soldiers. There are a few, stipulations in terms of if the soldier hasn't been in the Army more than 12 months, or if they have two or more existing AER loans, where the command would need to be involved. But generally speaking, soldiers can come directly to Army Emergency Relief and ask for assistance. Army Emergency Relief officers have the authority to approve up to $4,000 in assistance. If it's a request that maybe a car repair or something that goes over the $4,000, then the Garrison Command team can approve those amounts as well. So there's a couple different levels of approval, but directly in our office, it's up to $4,000.
And we do have a really great Garrison team here that is available and willing to help out.
Absolutely.
What is so the 4,000 is a max for a direct without command getting involved. What's the max amount that you've seen or heard of for AER helping out with somebody?
So really, there's no max. It really, every case is evaluated based on the circumstances, and so we try to look at each unique circumstance and work with AER headquarters if it try to just help the service member and families as much as we can.
Yeah, it's always about helping. Now, let's say my brakes went out and I need to get some help, or maybe there was an unexpected family emergency that I need to go. And one way or another, I start the process to get it, and I have to do it really quick. So where would I start?
Yeah, so a good place to start is to call our office directly and speak to Miss Katie or Miss Linda. And our number, I can give it to you now if you want it.
I don't want it. Okay. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm sure it starts with 337-531.
Yep. 1957 or 1958. Those are the direct numbers. Or they can just call Army Community Service directly. That's where our offices are located. And then they'll get you, directly to speak with Miss Katie or Miss Linda. So that's a great place to start, just to ask about the specific circumstances, and then the AER officer can help guide them. There is an application process, so that can either be emailed to the service member, or they can come in and pick it up and fill it out. And then depending on what the request is, there'll be some additional documentation required for, usually leave an earning statement is required. Depending if it's not like a time-sensitive emergency travel, we ask the soldiers to do a budget based on, income, what's coming in and their expenses. And that helps when we're evaluating, loan versus grant. So So those are kind of the basics. And then in your, in the situation you mentioned with the brakes going out on your vehicle. So if it's a vehicle request, one thing I want to emphasize is Army Emergency Relief can't reimburse expenses. So if you went out and had your brakes fixed, and now you've got the invoice, you want to avoid that, right? You want to get the estimate from the vehicle repair place first, and then submit that with your paperwork to AER. And then AER can work directly with the repair location and cut the repair location a check if the assistance is approved.
Yeah, and I would like to mention that if your brakes do go out, do not park or try to park at the front door of any building, because you might not stop in time.
Yeah, try to get or maybe just call. Don't drive to AER.
You can walk or run, or hey, you can run. It's a run.
Yes.
So, are there other activities that we're going to do to kick off this campaign, or what kind of? Well, we got the run, and what other kind of activities do we got going on for these for the campaign, just to bring an awareness to it?
Yeah, so we're going to do the run. We're excited about that, and we've got Command Sergeant Major Hansen's going to be speaking, giving a little pep talk to the group for that run. And then in the afternoon, we have for the leadership on the installation, we're going to do a quick leadership reception at the bowling alley on post. And then we're going to do a bowling tournament with all the unit representatives.
Bowling's always fun.
So yeah, we think it should be fun. So each unit will, and their unit, each unit has 2 unit representatives. They're pulling together a team, a small team of 6, where they'll each be representing their unit and bowling, and then the winner will get a bowling trophy for the unit, and bragging rights for the year. And we've got some fun AER socks that we're going to give to the winning team as well.
Is the trophy going to be a bowling pin?
It does have it has a bowling ball on it, I guess. So they can take that back to their unit and display that. And then after the bowling tournament, actually, we're going to have a family movie night in partnership with MWR. They're putting on a fun movie night where they're going to show the movie Dog with Channing Tatum, and they're going to have, it's going to be in the parking lot of the bowling alley, assuming weather is good. And they'll have balloon face painting and someone making balloons and, that kind of stuff.
Are dogs welcome?
For the movie, yes, I believe they're welcome.
Now, as long as it's not strays, because that I don't think that movie is quite family friendly, but dog is good. The campaign. We have a campaign. It's going on, or it starts March. It goes for how long? Yeah,
until right now, May 15th is when, but with possibility of extending.
And what's our goal for AER? Because I know this is the time of year that we see the thermometer out by the front gate. What is our thermometer's fever? What's our goal?
Yeah, so our goal for 2024 is to raise $100,000.
And that's just for Fort Johnson?
Yeah, that's just for Fort Johnson. And I will say that I feel like we can definitely reach this goal. What AER brings to our community is so much more. Last year, the community received over $250,000.
Oh, wow.
So we're raising a lot less than is what's being injected into the community. So and a fourth of that, over $250,000 was in grants. So it is, a really important thing for our community, for our military families and soldiers. So we're asking that if soldiers have the ability to give maybe just $5 a month, or whatever it is. We obviously don't want it to be a financial burden on anyone. That's not, that's not.
I need an AER loan, right, so I could give to the AER program.
Yeah, absolutely not. But we are looking to increase the number of participants from active duty soldiers, because it's really about soldiers taking care of soldiers. And one of the biggest things we see is soldiers that are kind of just starting out that maybe haven't had the opportunity to build that emergency fund. And then, life happens and they have to find a way to get back to their family or, pay an unexpected bill and stuff. So it's about, supporting the person to your left and right and trying to get the assistance. And so part of the kickoff is we have a couple soldiers actually that have received AER assistance that are going to be speaking and sharing their story about how AER kind of stepped up and helped them in a time of need.
Yeah, and everyone needs help every once in a while, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Hey, it's like you said, life happens, and unfortunately. Sometimes it gets in the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really a point of strength for soldiers to come to make AER their first stop rather than going off post or looking for an alternate option that in the long run could be really financially detrimental and just cause more hardship.
Now, what I did notice is there are multiple ways to give to the AER campaign, and the easiest one that I've seen, and I see it every single time I go get a drink from the shop at or the exchange or the express, is right there on when I go to pay with my debit card or credit card. There I could just round it to the next dollar and just give a couple pennies here, a couple pennies there. It adds up. So at all of the point of sales, those are called point of sales, POS. So if you get a point of sale, you can actually give when you're out there buying your chips, round it to the next dollar. I mean, some chips are $1.99. Round it to the next dollar. There's a penny. Every penny counts. So what are the different ways that we can give?
Yep. So there are multiple ways to give. If we're talking about, active duty soldiers, they can go to their unit representative in each of their units and there's a short allotment form that they can complete if they want to set up an allotment. And it can be as little as a 3-month allotment and, as little as $1 if they want to do that. So it can be, a very small amount. So going that route and we'll have those slips out available at our kickoff event and at events throughout, the campaign. The other way, for all those young folks using technology and stuff is they can scan a QR code and it takes them directly to the AER headquarters Fort Johnson page. And so they can do a one-time donation or they can set up an allotment there as well. And the nice thing about those, either using the form or the QR code is you can select the unit that you're, contributing on behalf of. So there's, I know there's a lot of unit pride across the installation. So if you want, your unit to make a good showing and stuff, that's a great way to, make sure that you're getting your unit some credit.
Now, okay, so it's just giving the unit the credit, right?
Well, of course,
it's not like we have little individual funds for each individual unit. So
correct, yeah, it's all one pot at the end of the day. But I know that unit pride and stuff is if you want bragging rights. Hey, this unit raised the most money this year. I know that can be a fun thing.
It's ACS. ACS raised the most money. It's all because of Molly.
I don't know about that, but
so we've got this going on. Do you remember how the AER campaign did last year?
So the AER campaign last year raised about just under $82,000 last year. So we're, obviously with our goal of $100,000, we're looking to up the amount this year and have a great showing. We've had last year we had a great showing from retirees. That was really a great thing. And even civilians, donate in some cases, even though they aren't, they don't qualify for AER assistance directly. But all of those, from active duty retirees and civilians are so appreciated. So we're hoping this year is even better.
Now, does the AER fund stay at Fort Johnson, or does it go into the AER fund for all of the Army? And then the Army will help or give out the money when we need it.
Yeah, so the funds go to AER, headquarters, and then obviously like the assistance. It's not like we're limited. Like last year, obviously we raised less than the community received in dollars, so it's not necessarily like a.
So Fort Johnson, actually, the AER for Fort Johnson loaned out.
Yeah, so over $250,000.
$250,000.
Yeah. So some of that was loans, a quarter of it was grants, and we also there were $30,000 given in spouse and dependent scholarships as well for educational expenses.
Oh wow, that's cool. So if I want to go to college, I could just go to the AER. Wait a minute, I'm not a soldier, so.
Yeah. So the best way for spouses and dependents of soldiers is to go to the AER headquarters website. The scholarship program is run directly through headquarters and stuff. So the application process, you submit that directly to headquarters. Of course, in our office locally, we can provide information about how to apply, but all of the applications and stuff go through headquarters. And it can be up to it's need-based assistance, but it can be up to 4 years of undergraduate assistance. If you're going full-time, if you're going part-time, it could be up to 8 years of assistance. And it's, need-based. So there's not necessarily, a cap.
So we gave out $250,000, but we only brought in 80. So it's time Fort Johnson steps up and starts helping out. So this year we're hoping to get 100,000, but the AER, I know that on the POS, the point of sales system, that's been going on for like year round.
Right.
Are we counting any money before the AER campaign kicks off? Or are we like starting off at zero and trying to work up from there?
So the way this might be my stump question is, is that we're going to start from zero. It'll go from the date of March 1st, and we'll work with headquarters in terms of like if we're capturing those numbers before the first, for the calendar year and stuff. We'll work with them and get their guidance in terms of.
Oh, what would be cool is if you were to find the first person, the first donation for the AER campaign, and then it's like they get the challenge coin or something for being the first person to give for this year. But knowing my luck, it's going to be it'll probably be the sergeant major or something. Yeah, out there it's like, here's the first dollar, I get the coin. So anyway, we've got the AER campaign, and that starts on the 1st. It goes through May, but we can give year round. All soldiers and family members. It's there to help.
Yeah.
Go to ACS and find out. You can find out more about the AER campaign that's been going on for like 80 years plus.
And I just want to emphasize too, with the campaign, really the first and foremost goal is kind of what we're doing here today. It's to inform and educate every service member, every retiree, every family member that this program exists and that they have access to it. So that's really the goal. We have 2 unit representatives across all the units on the installation, and they're going to be going out and talking to each soldier to let them know about the 30 categories of assistance and the scholarship programs and how AER can assist. So that's really the first and foremost goal. Is we want 100% inform and educate across the installation, and then the fundraising and stuff is part of just keeping the program viable, and so that we can continue to benefit from it in this community.
Self-sufficiency is soldiers helping soldiers. Help your brothers and sisters out. That's the way it should be. And everyone, please give this year. Give to the AER campaign. It's a great cause, and it goes to help everyone that absolutely needs it. And you never know, it might be you that needs that extra little kicker just for a little bit. I mean, so you've got emergencies and life, like you said, life happens. So, Molly, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for
I
having
really
me.
do. It's nice to have you in. It's great to have you back, and we'll be sure to get over there and do the run and do the movies. The movie sounds fun. The bowling sounds absolutely. I like bowling. What can I say? I mean, it's bowling, and we have a great bowling alley or bowling center. Bowling center. Strike zone? No, I don't know. Anyway. Well, Molly, it's been great having you in here, and I hope to have you back soon to talk about other stuff before you PCS out of here and the financial readiness program, correct?
Absolutely.
And what does that help with, or what can you help with the financial readiness? So if it doesn't have to do with AER, we could still come see you.
Absolutely, yeah. So the financial readiness program is really just the umbrella. It covers, sort of one-on-one individual financial counseling. We do classes on different financial topics. We also, Army Emergency Relief is kind of falls under that umbrella. But then we also can help with like consumer protection issues. If soldiers have questions about like the Service Member Civil Relief Act and how that, trying to get that implemented to apply to their credit card or something like that. So we, in addition to Army Emergency Relief, really we want to be the first stop when it comes to prevention and getting ahead of, any kind of financial challenges that you might have in the future. So trying to educate soldiers on, how to build an emergency fund, how to put together a budget and stick to it. How to pull their credit report, all those kind of basic things that, some folks didn't get those life skills through, when they were growing up or in high school. So we're here to educate them, and we don't tell them what to do with their money, but we give them all the information and resources that we can so they can make those educated decisions for themselves.
Absolutely. An ounce of prevention will absolutely help out with everything else. I appreciate you coming in, and we'll get you back in here. We'll get some other ACS programs over here also to help everyone out. I'd like to appreciate, I'd like to thank you, and I thank everybody out there for joining us on the Fort Johnson podcast. Please hit that subscribe and notification button. Like us, make a comment, please. If you have a story about if you've dealt with AER or if you have a story about why, or if you have any questions, please, just leave it in the comment section or give ACS a call. But in the meantime, I'm Jeff England from the Fort Johnson Public Affairs Office, and we will be listening and watching at you later.
That was easy.